Well, I think that OBS just crashed, but you guys are still in here, right? Stream resumed. Oh Lord, it's always something, man. It's always something. Anyway, looks good, sounds good, guys. How's it going? Okay, hey Grey Wolf, what's up? What's up? Hey guys, King of Swamp. Let me know if the audio sounds good and everything's okay. But yeah, that was weird. So I'm always having streaming issues. So kind of went okay today. Intro, got the wrong intro, did Alchemy intro by accident at first. And the OBS crashed. So that's the Boomer Tech update. Today is art stream, and we're going to talk about Yale's art history and what's going on with that. And I thought I would get like my cute little yes, let's talk about art history outfit going on, but these earrings are clip-on vintage and they are killing me. They're pinching my ears so bad. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to wear them. So we'll see. We will see. So what's going on here? Italy here. The news of cancellation of Renaissance study in Yale caused disbelief. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So, it's really interesting because I actually, do art stream every Tuesday, generally, haven't the past few months because I've been moving back to America. But generally, sorry, I get really distracted when there's noise going on in the apartment. Generally Tuesday we do art stream, and we've been getting into like art history. We've been talking about like Baroque and the different kinds of styles. What else do we talk about? There's Dadaism, different stuff. And so I decided if I'm going to be streaming more often that I should maybe have some sort of curriculum to follow instead of just like random stuff. The random stuff is actually kind of great. I do have a list built up of like other random stuff to talk about for art streams, but it's always good to just go through. If anyone has ever studied art history in university or AP or IB classes in high school, you will know that the art history book is like this thick. It's this giant thick book. It's a monster. It's like a doorway. And so that art history book is like pretty standard. It's really good. It goes through caveman drawings, ancient stuff, all the way through the stuff, and it's pretty much just standard history and the relationship between architecture and art and history, and studying that. And it's pretty clean cut. It was one of the only things in the art department that's like really good and decent. I've always recommended people actually go take it. I remember in art when I was in college before NYU, I went to SUNY Cobleskill, and I used to hang out with people, and this like one kid said that he decided to take art history as an elective for a history class because I would always talk about it and made it sound really interesting. But then when he took it, it was really hard and boring. And I'm like, sorry about it. I think it's fabulous and really interesting. So this is the kind of content that I think that is what I'm about and I want to share. And I think it's very valuable and important for the right wing, for culture and civilization. So I was like, yeah, let's go through the curriculum of the standard art history book. And I was like, well, I mean, if we're going to pick an art history book out, it might as well be like the standard for like Harvard and Yale or something. So I started looking them up, and I ended up bumping into the Yale course curriculum guide thing, where you can like look up each course and see what it is and who's instructing it and what the book requirements are for that course. So I can go and see what book it is and look at the courses. And I noticed we will go through all of this, okay? We'll go through their course curriculum. But let me just say, it is fantastic. I mean, not in a good way. It is very interesting, I will say that, because it's so telling, all the courses that they provide. I mean, some of it's like a joke. You would just be like, this is a course. This is crazy. But this is a course at Yale. And art history is the only valuable one. And after I was like coming to this conclusion that like, dude, art history is the only valuable, like worthwhile course in the whole art department. It's insane, the courses that they offer. The news came out that they were ditching the art history course. So I was like, oh my God, I was just saying that this is the only worthwhile course in the art department, and they are getting rid of it. So let's go through it. I think it's really interesting, actually. And then we'll start getting through the intro for the standard Yale textbook that it is. It's Gardner's Art Through the Ages. And there's another copyright-free website that pretty much goes through the same course curriculum of like just each time period and offers resources for that. So I will share that with you and we'll go through that. But I think that the intro for the Gardner Art Through the Ages book is interesting, and we'll have a look at that. These earrings are killing me. They hurt. They hurt, but they're fabulous. This lighting is not fabulous. I have to stream during the day because this is not cute. Don't like this lighting at all. It makes me look terrible. Let me check in on you guys. I have to take it off. I have to take them off. It hurts. Oh, nice. Douglas Kent studied art history as an elective at CUNY. Very nice. Great. Just setting up my next screen. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Sorry about it. Yes, thank you. I like your look. My mom in the 80s. That's kind of the look that I'm going for. Wanted bigger hair, but it was not looking cute, so I had to tame it down. So it looks kind of 40s, but I wanted it like big blown out hair. Maybe later on the stream I'll try to brush it out and it'll look cute. Just like kind of sucks that it's like this picture frame thing too, because I think I look better like the full picture. Oh, don't forget, before we start this, I gotta show a little bit. So yes, hi guys. Chill. I don't know. Where did my Streamlabs thing go? Well, these are the links. This is the Streamlabs link. Let me fix this thing. Hold on. Why does it disappear? I hate that I have to adjust this every time I stream. Where is it? Where is the donation goal? Why is it so tiny? I don't get it. Do I have to open like... Yeah, there's a link in the description, but I want to see my like donation goal. Let's see. Let me go to my widgets. Donation goal is still there, but I want to reset the goal. I don't know why it doesn't work. Oh my god, it's pissing me off. I really want that donation goal up. That thing was like my goal. Alright, this is wasting my time now. I fucking hate computers, dude. Oh no. Okay, back to the lesson, shall we? This is not the right lesson. Hold on. Just on my notes. What is this? Oh, I guess this is just like articles about it. Is that what I wanted to start with? Yeah, I guess. Yale upgrades its art history curriculum to be less Eurocentric, sparking outrage. On Monday, this was published January 29th. So on Monday, yeah, this is like exactly when I was looking up the course curriculum and looking up art history at Yale. It's still insane to me. On Monday, Yale University made a public announcement regarding its undergraduate art history program that almost instantly sent members of the reactionary right-wing media into a tailspin. Oh, okay, yeah. They're gonna be shitting on us because the institution's message simply had to do with the value judgment of the cultural validity of European and American art. Essentially, Yale is replacing two introductory survey courses. One is about the ancient Middle East, Egypt, and pre-Renaissance European art, and the other is about European art and American art in the Renaissance to the present, with a series of new courses that will focus on a broader spectrum of art as well as upon European and American art. Okay, so what they're saying is that it's not as bad as the right is saying, is that they are basically getting rid of the standard class and breaking it up into two, because there is a big section in there about Middle East, like Islamic art and ancient Egyptian and stuff in the East and whatever. And then there's like all the Renaissance art that takes up like a large portion of the course. So that they're going to do kind of two sections of it. I don't know if that's nefarious or not. So we will go through the course and maybe you can tell me what you think. But they definitely do focus a lot on African art, the art in the East or whatever. So I don't really know why they had to kind of like break up art history into two. And they're saying that they would go into more depth into the Renaissance art sections and stuff too, but then that's two courses, and then they're gonna make what are they gonna make only one requirement, and everyone, this is gonna be like the first one or something, and then I don't know, like I don't want to be assuming things, but this should just be the one art history course, because if they want to get into depth, they can do that, because they have gone into depth a lot in these courses. You'll see there's a bunch of courses like that, but there aren't that many Renaissance art courses. So why don't they just like add more courses, since they add more of the other ones? I don't know. This change is the latest response to student uneasiness over an idealized Western canon, a product of an overwhelmingly white, straight European and male, cater of artists. In insinuating a statement about the curriculum alteration, Tim Berenger, chair of Yale's art history department, and Marissa Bass, director of undergraduate studies in the department, put it this way: essential to this decision is the department's belief that no one survey course taught in the space of a semester could ever be comprehensive, and that no one survey course can be taken as the definitive survey of our discipline. Indeed, institutional judgments about what makes a piece of art definitive or not have shaped public discourse for as long as there have been institutions. Speaking of discourse, elsewhere in the news, on social media, commentators Alright, they're just gonna talk shit about people on Twitter complaining about it. They're basically talking shit about anyone, like, being negative about this and acting like it's just, like, outrage. If you're outraged by it, it's just, like, drama machine. Which I can agree with on the right. Happens a lot, but I don't think in this case. Yale plans to ditch an art history class because it's too straight white and male. This one's the National Review, so let's see what they say about it. Yale University is set to cancel a popular introductory art history class after this spring session, citing department concerns that its focus was too Western, straight, white, and male. According to an article in the Yale Daily News, Introduction to Art History, Renaissance to the Present was once touted to be one of Yale College's quintessential classes, and I would agree with that. Now the college is canceling it over what it calls student uneasiness over an idealized Western canon. I mean, that alone, that they cite that, shows that they do have an agenda. So I don't think it's that much outrage. I think they're trying to pretend that people are being outraged over no reason. It's not that big of a deal. They're not getting rid of anything. But this kind of statement that they have quoted is pretty troublesome to think that it's not nefarious. A student uneasiness over an idealized Western canon, a product of an overwhelmingly white, straight European and male. What is that? How do I say that? I sound like an idiot. Cater of artist? Cater? Note, the claim that there had been student uneasiness about the class is not further detailed anywhere else in the article, nor could I find it in any other material regarding it. The article does, however, report that the demand for the course skyrocketed in its final semester, with 400 students vying for one of its only 300 seats. Although I can't be sure, this leads me to suspect that if there had been any complaints, it seems more than likely that uneasiness represented in the views of a small group of students rather than a campus-wide or even majority attitude. Again, small minority make the biggest stink is what they're saying about this, because it seems that everyone wants to take the course when they heard this news, and so it must be that small minority that's uneasy about the course. Tim Berenger, the chair of the art history department and the course's instructor, explained the decision to discontinue the course this way. I want all Yale students, and all residents of New Haven who can enter our museums freely to have access to and feel confident analyzing and enjoying the core works of the Western tradition. He wrote in an email to the Daily News, but I don't mistake a history of European painting for the history of all art in all places. So yeah, why would he even make that? He's like, yeah, I think that Western tradition and art is important, but don't mistake a history of Western painting for the history of all art in all places. Yeah, no shit. Who the fuck is saying that it represents all history? God damn. These people. Hold on, I'm just gonna touch base with you guys, see what's going on. Anyway. Okay, I'm just checking everything out. Folk Google too. Hey, what's up? We gave $5. What do you think about the fashion Harley Quinn movie, Ugliness of Wokeness? I haven't seen it. I'm not exactly sure. I will look that up a little bit later, and we can have a look at it. These earrings are annoying me. How am I supposed to wear these earrings in real life? Okay. Let's continue. Kind of want to go to the bathroom. course curriculum. Let's see. So here is the school's website. And for the courses. And God, these earrings are just hurting me. I have to take them off. Ow! Jeez. I gotta figure out what to do with those. Ow. I gotta wear some other earrings. I think these kind of hurt too. Hurt less than those. Alright, what's gonna happen? These are kind of cool. See, they have like little. It's too much glare. It's like a coin in it. Anyway. So. Yeah, I was looking up art history. See right here, spring 2020 art history, and that's how I came across. I don't know. I think it might still be here, right? Are they doing their last course of it? They're planning on getting rid of it. I don't know. But we have 106 courses found. History of graphic design. That sounds interesting, actually. Can be applied towards humanities course to fulfill a requirement. Oh God. Okay, course description. This course studies how graphic design responded to and affected international social, political, and technological developments from its inception in ancient Sumeria, Egypt, and China. What? The course studies how graphic design responded to and affected international social, political, and technological. Why do they like do this shit? Advanced graphic design, history, editing, and interpretation. A probe into questions such as how an artist can be presented as an idiosyncratic individual in his or her work, and how that work can still communicate on its own in a broad sense, to a broad audience. Concentration on making graffiti, i.e. the design of a set of outdoor marks and tours for New Haven. A technological component is included, both in the metaphor of design, outdoor interaction as a way to learn about screen-based interaction, and the final project to design an interface for a handheld computer. So, graffiti and learning how to present an idiosyncratic individual in your work. Oh my God. Introduction to the history of art, global decorative arts. Global decorative arts? Okay. Oh God, every single thing. Yeah, okay, applied to the humanities department. Global history of the decorative arts from antiquity to the present. The materials and techniques of ceramics, textiles, metals, furniture, and glass. Sounds awesome, right? Consideration of forms, imagery, decoration, and workmanship. Cool. Themes linking geography and time, such as trade and exchange, simulation, identity, and symbolic value. Okay. Gotta throw that identity in there somewhere. Can be applied towards humanities. Great. Okay, here we go. This is the shit that I'm talking about. Power, gender, and ritual in African art history. They have an entire course that can be applied towards the humanities studies at Yale to fulfill requirements. This course is an introduction to the history of art in Africa. Students learn to see and understand different forms of visual practices in relationship to their historical, regional, and societal context of production. So, I mean, as we will see, there's a lot of this kind of stuff, a lot of these courses. And that's why I don't see why they couldn't just add more about European art instead of splitting the class up now. Here's another one. yeah, okay, we already saw this. Introduction to the history of art, global director of arts. Introduction to the history of art, Renaissance to the present. Yeah, so I think this is, this is the instructor, Berenger. So did they split it up already? This looks like the half that they were talking about. So this is the one European thing. I think it's like the standard art history course. It's a 100 level. This is an advanced course, Critical Approaches to Art History. This course can be applied towards the following Yale distributional requirements: humanities and arts, writing. A wide-ranging introduction to the method of art of the art historian and the history of the discipline. Themes include connoisseurship, iconography, formalism, and selected methodologies informed by contemporary theory. Wow, that's a bunch of words. And selected methodologies informed by contemporary theory. Physical history of art. Okay. What constitutes an artwork? What forces causes it to change over time? How did these changes impact our understanding of art objects? Artworks are not static. They are in constant flux even before the work leaves an artist's studio. Close physical examination of artworks, an approach now commonly called technical art history, allows for a clearer picture of an object's path through time, including alterations made within an artist's workshop to treatment. That's kind of cool, actually. I'm into that. You can kind of see, like, when people have, like, I've seen art historians where they take, like, x-rays or lasers or some shit, and they can see that there was, like, a piece of painting that was covered up by, like, the master or something over time, and they can see all the different layers of it. It's actually pretty cool. That's cool. Love that. Oh, here, see, there's another one. African arts and expressive cultures. So there's the second African arts class that we have. This course can be applied to the humanities. This is an introduction to the arts and expressive cultures of selection of regions from the African continent and the Americas. Discussions explore the relationship between art and leadership, religion, society, and history on the continent within African diasporic communities in the Americas. Class meetings and assignments make use of the distinguished collection of African objects at Yale University Art Gallery. This is the same course, but this is a 200 level, and there's a different thing. So I'm wondering why. You see how this one says AFAM 184. This one's AFST 208. I'm not sure why it's different. One's 100, one's 200 level, but it seems to have the same title of class. Religion, art, and Renaissance to and resistance to empire. Okay. Sounds interesting. This course explores religious and artistic modes of resistance to U.S. imperialism, using the Philippines as the primary case study. So basically, very anti-U.S. imperialism. It just has a very political agenda. We attend to the collaborations forged between religious and political actors in the interest of colonial expansion and to the practices of resistance that emerged in response. So, just, yeah, interesting. Visual thinking. It's a fairly normal class. Just explore fundamental principles of visual arts. Okay. Working knowledge of visual syntax applicable to the study of art history, popular culture, and art. I don't see anything objectable in that. Typography, that looks really interesting. I wish I could take this class. I love typography. Cool. Another typography class. expression, structure, and sequence. Grid structures, cool. Cool. Interactive design and the internet. That sounds really interesting, actually. In this studio course, students create works within the web browser to explore where the internet comes from, where it is today, and where it is going, recognizing that there is no singular history, present, or future, but many happening in parallel. Oh, okay. The course in particular focuses on the internet's impact on art and vice versa, and how technological advance often coincides with artistic development. True. Students will learn foundational front-end languages, HTML, CL, JavaScript, all this stuff. Cool, cool. That's actually really interesting. Open to art majors. Love that. Sound art. That sounds really cool. Use listening mediums, creating psychological or physiological reactions as a part of finished artwork. Yeah, see, that's actually really dope. I'm really into that. Introduction to sound art, a contemporary artistic practice that uses sound and listening as mediums, often creating psychological or physiological reactions as part of the finished artwork. The history of sound art in relationship to the larger history of art and music, theoretical underpinnings and practical production, central debates and problems in contemporary sound art, includes creation and in-class critique of experimental works. I want to take that class. It's awesome. I mean, being Lady Alchemy is pretty much sound art as well. The music is kind of more important than the visuals half the time. Painting theory. Sorry, there's a lot of classes. It's just some of them find them really interesting. Performance, after feeling. Measures the weight of emotion through movement and writing, contextualizing performance through historical and formal strategies. History flashes up so many interlocutors of a current concern. Oh my god, this is just, that's a bit much for me. Print to screen. That's cool. Between frames. Art and ritual in Greek antiquity. That's cool. Okay. Cool. We got another European art history thing. Arts of China. I mean, I'm not saying we can't study this, but you'll notice that there's a lot of African and Eastern stuff, so phrases and art criticism. In its ancient Greek sense, refers to the vivid description of an object, animal, person, place, scene, or event undertaken as an exercise in oral rhetoric. That's kind of cool, actually. This is so cool. I actually love this. I want to take this class. Exploration of the aesthetics of trains in French and Francophone literature and culture. From the end of the 19th century and the first locomotives to the automatically driven subway in 21st century Paris. Focus on the role of trains in industrialization, colonization, deportation, decolonization, and immigration. They always find a way to stick it in there, but I think that's actually really cool. I love trains. I'm a train rider myself. New York, all I do is trains. Let me check in on you guys. Alright, just reading what you guys are saying. Okay, time to chill a little bit, guys. Don't forget to send me some super chats. I have the also the link for Streamlabs, that's always useful. They take less of a cut, and there's PayPal. You can always send stuff directly. So just gonna Shillstream, check it out. Send some money. Not doing this for nothing. Let's see. Where am I at? Might want to take a break soon. Soon. Okay. Love the train chat. That's cool. The New York Intellectuals. Politics, Art, Argument. This course can be applied to the humanities. This course is an examination and consideration of one of the most influential groups of political and cultural critics of the 20th century, namely the New York Intellectuals. Themes include the role of intellectuals in society, the importance of argument in politics, the lure of totalitarianism, the use and abuse of art and literature, the nature of political and literary criticism, the function of intellectual magazines, the relation of philosophy and art to politics, the lure and danger of utopia. That's interesting that they say that, actually. Isn't that what commies are all about? A background in 20th century history and or other history of political thought, intellectual history is helpful but not required. Yeah, it's interesting that they pointed out the lure and danger of utopia. That's pretty anti-commie right there. But there is a lot of talk of like politics, society, art and politics. So you see, this is when we talk about changing, doing the culture war and shifting culture and all that stuff. This is how the left did it, and the right just give up and go, oh, we shouldn't have art and politics or whatever, which, you know, for the most part I agree, but everything kind of does I think good art does it in a really like interesting way, whether it's subtle or not. It always like, it's not like literally writing words on yourself and going on the red carpet with like political talking points on your body. Like, it's something that you think about that is interesting, and whether it's political or not, it's not always just like obvious and in your face tacky. It's in an interesting way that can make a statement, and even if you disagree with that statement, it's kind of like, that was a cool way to like get their point across. But it is always political. I never thought my artwork was political, but then I realized it kind of was, because I was portraying these Greek and Roman sculptures and Western stuff and Catholicism and all these things that were the conservative side of me being portrayed in a physical, aesthetic way, and that kind of is political. So this is what the left is doing with their long march. They're talking about this as in courses. Hold on, I have to like sneeze. Excuse me. Whew. They're making this a course that can be applied towards the humanities requirement. So this is the kind of stuff that they're offering people and shifting culture and teaching the youth about. Collecting nature and art in the pre-industrial world. This is kind of cool. I like that. Alchemical workshops and theaters of machines. Cool. Collection of monsters, rarities, and exotic specimens. Cool. I like this stuff. Okay, here we go. Some more African arts and expressive cultures. Introduction to contemporary art. This is, you know, it's contemporary. So this is when people start talking about modern art and complaining about modern art. This is, the modern art was like late 1800s, early 1900s, like 1950s, 1960s or some shit. I don't know, something like that. And so it's not today. Like modern art was like, and modern dance was a specific time in history that like is not now. It's contemporary. So this is introduction to contemporary art. This is art of today. Introduction of the pivotal figures, tendencies, and criticisms of the art of the last 3 decades, exploring questions of material form, media, process, and aesthetics relative to social, political, and economic issues. See how much that they are incorporating the political agenda, and that's popular media depict contemporary art as luxurious goods for celebrities, oligarchs, and elites. This class provides a historical and theoretically nuanced picture of recent art and its critical reception. Yeah, interesting. Arts of China, Renaissance bodies, art, magic, science. Ooh. Love that. Love that. An introduction to issues surrounding the representation of the body in both art and science, spanning from the late Middle Ages to the 17th century, with a particular focus on the Northern Renaissance. Love that. Topics include medicine, reproduction, witchcraft, the gender spectrum. What? Torture, race, disability, desire, dreams, and theories of imagination and invention. Sections and assignments will make ample use of Yale's collection. It sounded really cool, but I have a feeling they're gonna get a little bit SJW in that course too. You can just tell by the way that they wrote that. Yeah, we already saw that. Epic India, the Rama story and visual art. Okay, so they got some Indian thing. Critical approaches to African art. So this is another African art class. Foundational text of history of African art and expressive cultures. This is a class that we already have. Ooh! Rezakai, thank you.
Appreciate all your hard work.
Aw, thank you, Rezakai. Means a lot, means a lot. Sorry. Just got a notification. Thanks, man. You guys are awesome. I did do a lot of prepping for this stuff, so thanks. Not gonna lie, the music caught me off guard. It always does for me too. It scares me. Okay, where were we? Ooh, this is cool. Russian style, material culture, and the decorative arts in Imperial Russia. That's actually really cool. Love it. Western European artistic traditions, Russian imperial culture, from the Baroque and neoclassical courts of Elizabethan and Catherine to the exported native imaginaries of the ballet russe. Cool. I'm actually really into that course too. There's more than that I thought there was that is really interesting. I think maybe I saw Harvard's list or something, but it was just literally all just African courses. And I'm like, wow. I mean, Islamic stuff. But that's actually pretty cool. Art and ritual in Greek antiquity. The relationship between art and ritual has received much scholarly attention in various fields, particularly classics, history of art, religious studies, and anthropology. Greek antiquity offers an ideal context for considering the intricate ties between visual culture and religious practices. For much of what it is known today as ancient Greek art and architecture was originally related to rituals, artifacts, and architectural monuments such as painted pottery, sculptures, reliefs, and temples served as settings for worship and ceremonial events, and features representations of activities such as libations and sacrifices. Cool, cool, cool. Art of the Chora Monastery. This is monument of late Byzantine paintings, the early 14th century mosaics and frescoes of the, I don't know what that is, the Chora Monastery is in Istanbul. Okay. That's interesting. We already saw that. We already saw this. Already saw that. Already saw that. French trains, cool. Cultures and Performing Arts of Central Java. I really don't know what this is. Where's that from? I don't really know what that is either. This says its music is a compositional technique in two or more voices built on a subject that is introduced at the beginning in imitation, which recurs frequently in the course of the composition. Oh, okay. I think it's like when they weave the musical composition, which one or two themes are repeated or imitated by successfully entering voices and I don't know what that word is. Continuous interweaving of the voice parts. Okay. New York intellectuals. Cool. Imperial Russia. Epic India again. Renaissance bodies. Blackness and abstraction. So here's some more, like a whole class on blackness and abstraction. Examines Black Atlantic artists from 1945 to present. The focus is on frameworks that challenge modernist criticisms, institutional context of exhibition and reception from the 1960s to present, and intersections with debates on Black as color from Malevich, whatever. Whole course on blackness. Here's another course: mid-century African American literature, new approaches. After World War II, but before civil rights and Black arts movement of the later 1960s, an extraordinary group of African American writers came of literary age together. I mean, that's cool. I'm not against it, but I'm just showing that like they definitely focus a lot on other types of stuff, not just like Western European art. Got Egypt and Northeast Africa, a multidisciplinary approach. Okay. This can be applied towards writing and the humanities and arts. An introduction to Egyptology, examining approximately 10,000 years of Nile Valley cultural records and 3,000 years of Egyptian history. The course presents an overview of the historical and archaeological study of Egypt and her southern neighbor, Nubia. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I think it's interesting. Nigeria and its diaspora. This can be applied towards social sciences at Yale. Nigerians in the modern diaspora, both those who endured forced migration and those who migrated voluntarily. Specific reference to the I don't know how to say those African tribes. The preservation and maintenance of Nigerian culture, history, dance, literature, traditional education, theater, politics, art, music, film, religion, and folklore, especially in African American and Nigerian American context. There you go. This is another one of the same course, but again, this is different. This one's 180, 680. Maybe it's just the name of just different course. Book collecting in America with emphasis on Western Americana. Cool. That sounds interesting. Collecting books produced in about North American West. That's actually really cool. Love books. Poetry and objects. Technologies of movement research, cool. The Times of Bob Dylan. I love that you can take a Bob Dylan course at Yale. Oh my god. Mid-century African American literature and approaches. Oh, is that the same thing? Egypt and Northeast Africa. Women in ancient Rome. So here's like Western, but it's like, ooh, women. The contributions of Roman women to one of the greatest cities and one of the greatest empires in world history. Lost stories of real-life Roman women recovering from public and residential buildings, portraits, paintings, and other works of Roman art and architecture. I would actually take that class. I'm not gonna lie, I do love like gay woman kind of stuff, but not in a feminist way. More of like just embodying femininity. Style. This seminar mines the concept of style, one of the key terms of art history and aesthetic theory, which has fallen into disrepute for several decades, but has resurged again strongly in recent years. I can agree with that. Creativity, innovation, and the new. Oh god, okay. The new design of our world. Through exploring the history of newness as an idea, this current understanding within philosophy and examining its understanding in multiple creative fields today, including art, architecture, product design, social, microcultures, cars, food, fashion, and toys, students gain both knowledge about the role of the new in human society and are exposed to cutting-edge ideas in multiple disciplines. What a class to take. You get like college credit for studying the new, creativity and innovation. Women in ancient Rome. Czech novelist and French thinker. Cool. Oh, wait. I know who that is. No, never mind. Visual storytelling. Survey of theater and drama. Cool. Plants and people. Cool. Uses of the past in modern China. Not much. Mid-century African American literature. Modernity and the time of literature. This course examines transformations in temporarily that occurred in the sciences and arts during the 20th century, from the arrival of Einsteinian relativity to more contemporary proofs of quantum non-locality. The question of time in the 20th century threatened to overturn some of our oldest assumptions about causes and effect, duration, history, presentness, and futurity. Okay, I don't know. Nigeria and its diaspora, close analysis of film, modernity of time, book collecting, modernism in Europe, 1860 to 1960, influences, conflicts, and legacies. That's interesting, actually. White squares, minimalist chairs, poem without punctuation. Okay, yeah, it's basically like modern art in Europe. See, this is like when people say modern art, like, look at the dates. That's what I said. I said it was late 1800s, like 1960s. Uses of past in modern China. I'm not going to go through all of them in detail again, but I'm just going to see art, figure drawing. Anyway, they have a lot of really crazy classes. It's just like, can you imagine taking like some class like pondering the concept of the new, and that's like what your class is about. I don't know, some of those classes were wild. I think it's hilarious. Just reading what you guys are saying. You're talking about Catholicism. Talking about France. Catholic monarchist. Alright, interesting. So, what else are we talking about here? Oh, I need to go on a break. So, I should have eaten something. I'm pretty stupid. Alright, well, we'll go on a little break.
OK Weekly Life Tip with Seth.
We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Okay, so I got to the end of that video and I realized I didn't go to the bathroom. I just sat there watching that video, listening to that song, and I didn't go to the bathroom. So, I don't know. Maybe in a little bit I'll pop on another video. Yeah, so things are looking good. This is my, I don't know what to call it, my requirement for streaming a month. And I'm at 23% so far, so pretty pleased. It's pretty good, but just, that's the goal for the month. And, you can use Streamlabs link. It's always great. It helps that goal go up. So that's what we can look towards. What do we have here? We went through the Yale curriculum and some of the articles about the art history course. Now let's take a look at the textbook of Yale's art history. It's Gardner's Art Through the Ages. So let me get that up. Oh shoot, I emailed it to myself. Fuck, I need to download it. Hold on. Damn. Didn't prep enough. Thought I prepped a lot. Let me do Gardner. Got it. Going to download it? Can I download it? Yeah, download. Downloading. All right. Alright, sorry, got it downloaded. Let's bring it up. Where do I find it? Where do I find it? No, it's the book on etiquette. How do I do that? Sorry, I'm trying to figure it out. See, I have this window capture device, and I'm trying to get, instead of this screen, to show the book, but it's like not on the internet. It's like on an ebook or EPUB. Like, I don't know. I gotta find it. No. Please work. Oh, found it. Yay! Found it. Dave Incognito. Oh, let's go through some of the the donations. Let's do that. Bring the subscriber widget up. Okay. Yeah, we have right, we have Dave Incognito gave $5. Said, I always wondered what would happen if you hit 100%. Well, another bit higher. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see when I get there. I've never really gotten there. I never really set a goal that high, but I usually set a goal for like the day, the stream, and then now I'm just doing like what I need for the month, and hopefully I can just reach that goal so I can keep track. Rainbolt gave $20. Oh, thanks, Rainbolt. It says, I'm looking forward to more Metacog content. Yeah. So I have a lot going on between completing this comic book, which is going to be a lot of work. So that is my main focus right now. I want to make sure I get this comic book done. But I have a few episodes of Metacog completed, and I want to complete a few more. I have the formula like all sorted. So once the comic book is done, then I'll go back to Metacog and work on the magazine and the TV, and it's going to be great. Okay, let's get back to it. So we have Gardner's art history. Gardner's Art Through the Ages, a concise global history. Shit, maybe before we go through that, I wanted to show you guys this other thing, but we'll get to that website. That's what we're gonna follow along next time. But right now, I kind of want to just check out Yale's book and go through some of the introduction about art history. So yeah, this was the cover. I love how they always have like a cover, some classical work. The ballerinas, yeah, who does the ballerina? Degas, yeah, Degas always does these ballerinas. That's notoriously his. So some stuff about him. Well, I mean, if you want to see the table of contents too, like, I mean, it's amazing. Introduction, what is art history? Art history in the 21st century, different ways of seeing. And then it goes into, you can see chapter 1 is prehistory and the first civilizations. Greece, so ancient Greek. Prehistoric, how do you say that? Aegean art? Greek art. The Roman Empire. Etruscan, Roman art, early Christianity, and Byzantium. What? Early Christian art. Is that like Byzantine? Yeah, Byzantine art. The Islamic world, architecture, and more medieval, early medieval, Romanesque Europe, Gothic Europe, 1400 to 1500, 1600, Europe and America 1700 to 1800, Europe and America, Europe 1870 to 1900, 1900 to 1945, Europe and America after 1945, South and Southeast Asia, China and Korea, Japan, the Americas, Africa. So it's pretty much covers everything, and that's awesome. This book is really cool. We got some Georgia O'Keeffe, the vagina flower paintings. Introduction, what is art history? Except when we're referring to the modern academic discipline, people do not often juxtapose the words art and history. They tend to think, and that's absolutely true. That's what is so fascinating about art history, is that it really does kind of fit. It makes sense. Art and history are really connected. But people tend to think of history as the record and interpretation of past human actions, particularly social and political actions. Most think of art, quite correctly, as part of the present, as something people can see and touch. People cannot, of course, see or touch history, vanished human events. But a visible and tangible artwork is kind of persisting event. One or more artists made it a certain time, made it at a certain time in a specific place, even if no one knows who, when, where, or why. Although created in the past, an artwork continues to exist in the present, long surviving its time. The first painters and sculptors died 30,000 years ago, but their works remain. Some of them exhibited in glass cases in museums built only a few years ago. So I mean, like ancient cave paintings, man. These old artists, their work is still around. So that's what's amazing about art, is that it does continue on after you, and that's what I always wanted to do with Lady Alchemy. Was my work is to keep the tradition of alchemy alive and have it go on after me. And I am the modern interpretation of alchemy, passing it along. Modern museum vendors can admire these objects from the remote past and the countless others humankind has produced over the millennia without any knowledge of the circumstances that led to the creation of those works. An object's beauty or sheer size can impress people. The artist's virtuosity in the handling of ordinary or costly materials can dazzle them, or the subject depicted can move them. Viewers can react to what they see, interpret the works in the light of their own experience, and judge its success or failure. These are all valid responses to a work of art, but the enjoyment and appreciation of artworks in museum settings are relatively recent phenomena, as is the creation of artworks solely for museum-going audiences to view. Today, it is common for artists to work in private studios and to create paintings, sculptures, and other objects that commercial art galleries will offer for sale, as the American painter Georgia O'Keeffe, 1887 to 1986, did when she created her series of paintings of flowering plants. Usually someone the artist has never met will purchase the artwork and display it in a setting the artist has never seen. But although this is not a new phenomenon in the history of art, an ancient potter decorative vase for sale at a village market stall probably did not know that it would be bought and where it would be displayed in the house. It is not all that typical. In fact, it's exceptional. Throughout history, most artists created the paintings, sculptures, and other objects exhibited in museums today for specific patrons and settings and to fulfill a specific purpose. Often, no one knows what its original context of those artworks are. It's kind of like, what is art and what is art history? It definitely, that's what I always say, is that it shows a specific time and place in history, and it's not always known what the circumstances and context is around some art, and it's amazing. You never know where it's going to end up being displayed in the future. Hold on a second. Just catch up on something. Flower plants. Are you making fun of it? Oh God, that looks so terrible. In class, I had to drink 3 coffees to stay awake for in college. That's art history. Pretty much, Sean. Pretty much. Alright, let's get back into it. Although people may appreciate the visual and tactical qualities of these objects, they cannot understand why they were made or why they appeared as they do without knowing the circumstances of their creation. Art appreciation does not require knowledge of the historical context of an artwork or a building. So, you can appreciate, you can go to a museum or whatever, and you can appreciate art without really knowing anything about it. Art history does require an understanding of the context. Thus, a central aim of art history is to determine the original context of artworks. Art historians seek to achieve a full understanding not only of why these persisting events of human history look the way they do, but also of why the artistic events happened at all. What unique set of circumstances gave rise to the erection of a particular building or led to a specific patron to commission an individual artist to fashion a singular artwork for a certain place? The study of history is therefore vital to art history, and art history is often very important to the study of history. Art objects and buildings are historical documents that can shed light on the peoples who made them and on the times of their creation in a way other historical documents cannot. Furthermore, artists and architects can affect history by reinforcing or challenging cultural values and practices through the objects they create and the structures they build. Thus, the history of art and architecture is inseparable from the study of history, although the two disciplines are not the same. The following pages introduce some of the distinctive subjects art historians address and the kinds of questions they ask, and explain some of the basic terminology art historians use when answering these questions. Armed with this arsenal of questions and terms, readers will be ready to explore the multifaceted world of art through the ages. How lovely. Yeah, that's a really good point. That's why I'm just reading it, because I do not have the gift of gab enough. I do in real life, but once you put a camera on and lights in my face, suddenly I'm like, dirt. But I knew that it would be expressed in a better way, the concept of art history and the importance of it, and the relationship where, what is it? They're not mutually exclusive, or they are mutually exclusive. They're like two separate things, but they, excuse me, a lot going on out there. And then I get distracted by things and shit. Herder. Yeah, exactly. Great. Well, it's just, I don't know. I get like retarded once you turn a light on or a camera on. Okay. Oh, shit. Let's get back to this. Art history in the 21st century. Art historians study the visual and tangible objects humans make and the structures they build. From the earliest Greco-Roman art critics on, scholars have studied works that their makers consciously manufactured as art and to which the artist assigned formal titles. Sorry, I get really distracted. I'll just wait a second. I will take questions until I'm no longer distracted. Okay, I think the distraction is over. Ugh. Anyway, I was saying, yeah, but okay, so we're talking about scholars studying works of art that their makers consciously manufactured as art, to which the artist assigned formal titles. But today's art historians also study a vast number of objects that their creators and owners almost certainly did not consider to be works of art. Few ancient Romans, for example, would have regarded a coin bearing their emperor's portrait as anything but money. Today, an art museum may exhibit that coin in a locked case in a climate-controlled room, and the scholars may subject it to the same kind of art historical analysis as a portrait by an acclaimed Renaissance or modern sculptor or painter. The range of objects art historians study is constantly expanding and now includes computer-generated images, for example, whereas in the past almost anything produced using a machine would not have been regarded as art. Most people still consider the performing arts, music, drama, and dance, as outside art history's realm because these arts are fleeting, impermanent media. But recently, even this distinction between fine art and performance art has become blurred. Performance artists. Art historians, however, generally ask the same kind of questions about what they study, whether they employ a restrictive or an expansive definition of art. The questions art historians ask: how old is it? Let's fluff this hair up. Let's get the 80s going. Maybe we'll change the part or something. The questions art historians ask: how old is it? Before art historians can construct. Sorry, I get really distracted. Hair stream. I love that. I gotta get this lighting to be right. I gotta stream earlier in the day. I like ambient lighting better. Still not happy with the hair. Where's Jay? I can show him that I'm just brushing my hair on stream. All right. Okay. They must be sure they know the date of each work they study. Thus, an indispensable subject of art history is inquiring its chronology, the dating of art objects and buildings. If researchers cannot determine a monument's age, they cannot place the work in its historical context. Art historians have developed many ways to establish or at least approximate the date of an artwork. Physical evidence, obviously, often reliably indicates an object's age. The material used for a statue or painting, bronze, plastic, or oil-based pigment, to name only a few. Many may not have been invented before a certain time, indicating the earliest possible date someone could have fashioned the work. Or artists may have ceased using certain materials, such as specific kinds of inks and papers for drawing, at a known time, providing the latest possible dates for objects made of those materials. Sometimes the material for the manufacturing technique of an object or a building can establish a very precise date of production or construction. Studying tree rings, for instance, usually can determine within a narrow range the date of a wood statue or timber roof beam. Whoa, that's crazy. I mean, I know that you can date things through wood, but I didn't think about statues or a roof beam being dated. That's awesome. Documentary evidence can help pinpoint the date of an object or building when a dated written document mentions the work. For example, official records may know when a bishop commissioned a new artwork for a church and how much he paid for which artist. Internal evidence can play a significant role in dating an artwork. A painter might have depicted an identifiable person or a kind of hairstyle, clothing, or furniture fashionable only at a certain time. If so, the art historian can assign a more accurate date to that painting. Stylistic evidence is also very important. The analysis of style, an artist's distinctive manner of producing an object, the way a work looks, is the art historian's special sphere. Unfortunately, because it is a subject assessment, stylistic evidence is by far the most unreliable chronological criterion. Still, art historians often find style a very useful tool for establishing chronology. how are you guys doing? Are we following here with what's going on? We're establishing chronology and dating how old things are when we're looking at art history. It's an important factor. What is style? What is style? Defining artistic style is one of the key elements of art historical inquiry. Although the analysis of artwork solely in terms of style no longer dominates the field in the way it once did, art historians speak of several different kinds of artistic styles. Period style refers to the characteristic artistic manner of a specific time, usually within a distinct culture, such as archaic Greek, but many periods do not display any stylistic unity at all. How would someone define the artistic style of the opening decade of the new millennium in North America? What? That's true. Far too many cross-currents exist in contemporary art for anyone to describe a period of style of the early 21st century. Even a single city such as New York. Really? Regional style is a term art historians use to describe variations in style tied to geography. Yeah, I like to do that a lot myself. I love, like, New York is very, like, Dutch buildings, and I like the it's translated to French word for fine arts, but the beaux arts style of, like, the Greek columns and all that stuff on a lot of our federal buildings and train stations and stuff is really cool. That's also time period, because the beaux arts architecture was popular in a certain time, like Victorian time, and then it became popular to get a little bit more modern and brutalist and simple, and all that, like, ornate fancy stuff became, like, out of style. Anyway, regional style is a term art historians use to describe variations in style tied to geography. Like in object state, its provenance or place of origin can significantly determine its character. Very often, two artworks from the same place made centuries apart are more similar than contemporaneous works from two different regions. To cite one example, usually only an expert can distinguish between an Egyptian statue carved in 2500 BCE and one made in 500 BCE, but no one would mistake an Egyptian statue of 500 BCE for one of the same date made in Greek or Mexico. It's true. Considerable variations in a given area style are possible. However, even during a single historical period, considerable variations in a given area style are possible. However, even during a single historical period. In late medieval Europe, French architectural differed significantly from Italian architecture. The interiors of, I don't know how to say that. This cathedral and the Florentine Church of Santa. I don't know these. But anyway, look at these styles: French and Italian. So it's this one and this one. Ooh, sorry, Italy. I like the French one. The style of an object or building often varies from region to region. This cathedral has towering stone vaults and large stained glass windows typical of 13th century French architecture. True. And then you have this one. In contrast to this cathedral, this contemporaneous Florentine church conforms to the quite different regional style of Italy. The building has a low timber roof and small windows. Yeah, I like the French one better. Sorry, no offense. Just give me a second. I'm just checking some things. Alright, let's get back into this. They were building. Yeah, so these were done around the same time but different places, and the rebuilding of the east end of the French cathedral began in 1284. Construction commenced on the other one only 10 years later. Both structures employed the pointed arc characteristic of this era. Yet the two churches differ strikingly. The French church has towering stone ceilings and large expanses of colored windows, whereas the Italian building has a lower timber roof and small, widely separated windows. Because the two contemporaneous, I don't know that word, contemporaneous. How do you say that? Oh my God, let's look this up.
Contemporaneous.
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 Contemporaneous. See that hard A on that. Contemporaneous.
Contemporaneous.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Contemporaneous churches serve, because the two contemporaneous churches serve similar purposes, regional style mainly explains their differing appearance. True, true. Shit made in Africa or China does not look like it does in France. Personal style, the distinctive manner of individual artists or architects, often decisively explains stylistic discrepancies among monuments of the same time and place. Georgia O'Keeffe, 1930, painting Jack in the Pulpit, number 4, figure 1-1, is a sharply focused close-up view of petals and leaves. Let's see, 1-1, this one, the vagina paintings. Okay, up close painting of flowers and leaves, apparently. O'Keeffe captured the growing plant's slow, controlled motion while converting their organic form into a powerful abstract composition of lines, shapes, and colors. See the discussion of art historical vocabulary in the next section. Only a year later, another American artist, Ben Shen, I don't know how to say the name, 1898 to 1969, painted the Passion of Sacco and Vanzetti, figure 1-4. This guy. So between O'Keeffe and this guy, they had markedly different personal style. His paintings are often social commentaries on contemporary events and incorporate readily identifiable human beings. Yeah, I mean, she just did like flower vaginas. You can see the modern art in this, the like cubism kind of style. So yeah, modern art started like a while ago. A stinging commentary on social. So I guess his painting here is a stinging commentary on social injustice inspired by the trial and execution of two Italian anarchists, Nicola Sacco and Bartolomeo Vanzetti. Many people believe Sacco and Vanzetti had been unjustly convicted of killing two men in a holdup in 1920. John's painting compressed time in a symbolic representation of the trial and its aftermath. The two executed men lie in their coffins. Presiding over them are the three members of the commission, led by a college president wearing academic cap and gown. That declared the original trial fair and cleared the way for the executions. Behind the wall of a stately governing building hangs the framed portrait of the judge who pronounced the initial sentence. Personal style, not period or regional style, set his canvas apart from O'Keeffe's. The contrast is extreme here because of the very different subjects the artist chose. But even when two artists depict the same subject, the result can vary widely. The way O'Keeffe painted flowers and the way Chahon painted faces are distinctive and unlike the styles of their contemporaries. The different kinds of artistic styles are not mutually exclusive. For example, an artist's personal style may change dramatically during a long career. Art historians then must distinguish among the different period styles of a particular artist, such as the Blue Period and the Cubist period of the prolific 20th century artist Pablo Picasso. So damn, yeah. These are like the people and the judge that like put these guys to death. So, you know, art and politics kind of go hand in hand a lot of times. Damn. Trying to get through this. But time is running out, guys. Don't forget to, you know, send me some love. Send some super chats. Tomorrow I will be talking about outer alchemy. And then Thursday, inner alchemy, some spiritual stuff. You guys always have a lot of questions about that kind of stuff for me. So yeah, be prepared. The next 2 days is like alchemy style. It'll be fun. Do you guys have any questions or anything? I might stop soon because I'm not getting any super chats or anything, and I'm tired and it's been 2 hours. All right, you guys aren't even interacting with me much, so I'm gonna save the rest of this for later. See you guys tomorrow. Like I said, we got Sunday etiquette, and I've had a lot of good feedback on etiquette. I hope you guys check this out. If you haven't seen the etiquette stream, check that out a little bit. Some really amazing discussions about that. Then we have Monday, just kind of like an open day to talk about current events or any bullshit going on. Chit chat with the chat a little bit more. And then Tuesdays, we're doing the art streams, some art history, different topics. And then we have the alchemy streams. So I'm getting out of here, guys. Bye. See you tomorrow around the same time.